We woke up, as always, that's my opening line, at 7 and we left at 8. We got on the bus. We got on the 127 to the Port Authority bus terminal. And walked about a block and a half, something like that, to the pier. To the pier for the Circle Line Best of New York cruise. We arrived quite early, so we got in line, and it wasn't too long until they started loading us up onto the boat, scanned our tickets, and a quick security check and went on. We were on the boat for like an hour before we actually set off, so I went and just sat in the aircon area whilst they were all sitting outside because it was just too hot.
Curtis about 2 other way. That being said, we have standing areas on the boat. They're on the lower level. Lower area where the back staircase, downstairs in the back, you can stand there. And there's the bow of the ship downstairs in the front. That's the part of the boat you came in on, folks. All our trips are on saltwater. East River, Harlem River, those are ocean tributaries. We're in the East River, we're going to be in the ocean. I mean, it's going to look like Brooklyn, Queens, and Roosevelt Island, but technically it's the ocean. The Hudson's a tidal estuary, so it's got fresh water, but like up there somewhere. Not so much down here. And the so-called American Indians, they would have called themselves Lenape. They call this waterway Mahocton-Talk, a river that flows both ways, a little more on the money. But it's the biggest port in the world. It was said fairly. You could skip from New York to New Jersey by jumping from boat to boat, and you could. This river, East River, full of boats 24/7, over 1,000 boats a day. That means our waterfront didn't look this nice. In fact, that waterfront looked a bit nasty. And there was a man who worked on that waterfront back in the 19th century, a man named Herman Melville. Yes, the man who wrote Moby Dick, but his day job was customs clerk at the Gansevoort Market, this neighborhood we now call the Meatpacking District. Melville worked on the waterfront, but he wrote that Manhattan is an island where no one looks at the sea. Nobody wanted to deal with that waterfront. You wanted to work or catch a boat. 1811, we mapped the wilderness, figured at least if there were all the streets that go at once, that'd speed things up. Manhattan's from Algonquin, named for the island. Manhattan, or land of many hills. So 1811, we mapped all the hills, practically every tree, and we looked at that map. We ignored the hills at Everett Exchange Place. Sounds like it should be, but that's what they called Everett over 100 years ago. Oldest buildings there from the 1990s, most of them a lot newer than that. So
We passed the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island and looped around and then went north up the East River. We passed under the Brooklyn Bridge. The Empire State Building. The Chrysler Building. We saw the Yankees Stadium.
And the street they're walking on is Broadway, so we're basically going under a block of Broadway when we go under this bridge. Broadway, the most famous street in New York City, the longest street in Manhattan. Longer than Manhattan. How could that be? Because it's not a straight line. It doesn't follow the grid. And that's because Broadway is also the oldest street in Manhattan. But it's still part of the trail.
So we looped up, and at the tip of Manhattan I was surprised at how green it was. You know, comparing that to like the concrete jungle of the rest of Manhattan. It was actually quite beautiful. Decided to go to a pretzel hot dog stand thing that was not too far from the terminal. The guy there tried to scam us because we're tourists, but we didn't let that happen, so you know, yay for us, we didn't get scammed out of $10. I had a pretzel, it wasn't very good. My parents had hot dogs, I don't know how good they were, and we had drinks. So we decided to split up, and my mum and my brother decided to get lost on the underground, whilst me and my dad went to the USS Intrepid Museum. Got it first time. So the first thing we did was we got onto the aircraft carrier, and we went onto the middle deck hangar, and we walked around and we saw all of the different things, like they had engines and different planes on display. You go into like side rooms, like we went into the medical bay, and there was like a picture of a guy getting his leg sewn back together because of like blowing off, like, you know, it was pretty gnarly. We saw like the quarters, the kitchens and all that.
We were proud of our ship, and proud of our shipmates, those who'd made it through, and those who hadn't.
We went to the lower decks, and it was basically more just like, it was like more confined, but we saw more of the same sort of thing, like quarters and galleys, that sort of thing. Then we went up the pilot escalator, which was a really tall single lane escalator which would carry the pilots up to the upper platform, the flight deck, when they were needed to fly planes. So obviously it wasn't operational anymore, so we just walked up it, and when we got onto the flight deck, we were just greeted by lots of planes. There was probably, I don't know, like 30 different planes and helicopters up on that flight deck. So we did like a loop of it. So we walked around. They had the fastest plane ever made, which was the SR-71 Blackbird, which was like a spy plane. It would like fly at 80,000 feet and would spy, basically. But it was decommissioned because we didn't need it anymore because of satellites. There was also helicopters, like army helicopters and stuff like that. Two-story Then we went to the bridge, which was boiling hot, and the queue for it was like 7 minutes long, so it wasn't that bad, but it was cramped and I was getting annoyed. But basically it was where the ship was piloted and controlled. It's like they had like their radar and steering wheel and captain's wheel, or whatever you want to call it. It was pretty cool. The thing I find interesting about the ship is, like, with most of the like World War II era ships, there's so many like nozzles and wheels and buttons all over the place, and I have no idea what any of them do. So yeah.
Take launch. Suppose there was no wind. If there's a wind, it's going to help you. But if there's no wind at all, if it's completely calm, the ship needs to be going at close to 40 miles an hour, because the plane can't build up the speed it needs to take off unless it gets a help from the ship. So it had to be going at close to 40. So the plane would go about 40 or so, and that's enough lift for it to get off to be able to fly.
Here's my chair. Captain's chair.
The Intrepid was a aircraft carrier that was commissioned in World War II and was also used in the Vietnam War, the Cold War and the Korean War, and helped in the space race. We got through that, and then we went to see the Space Shuttle Enterprise, which was cool. They had loads of exhibits telling you about it. The viewing platform was cool. So yeah, that was the Enterprise. We went down onto the pier, and we went to go to the submarine, which was called the USS Growler. We queued for about 40 minutes, and we got on the submarine. They showed us a quick introduction video, and we walked through the submarine. The submarine itself is like very tight and compact. Going through the hallways and like especially going through those tiny little doors, it was very difficult. Well, not for me, but for my dad. That was the submarine. It was very cool. I liked it. Probably worth the wait.
Ship's inertial navigation method says that we want it to be totally self-contained and they need no external resources. So you stay in the water, you know where you're at, you're going to the water.
Takes an hour just to take this.
Bulkheads, we call it, on the submarine. Never used it.
The submarine was from the Cold War, and was used to launch nuclear warheads from the submarine. It wasn't in service for very long because it became obsolete due to it having to come above the water to launch its missiles, when the newer models of submarines that the Americans and that made would be able to launch their missiles from underwater, making the Growler obsolete and then causing it to get decommissioned, I think only 5 years after it began service.
These are like 500 pounds lighter than the ones in for ships.
So then we saw the Concorde, which was the fastest passenger plane ever made. It was able to travel from London to New York in 3 hours, which in comparison we flew from London to Boston, which is a shorter journey, in 7.5 hours. So that shows how fast it was. But it was put out of use because it cost the same amount as like a first class ticket on a regular flight and was way more uncomfortable. We then decided to go and meet my mum and my brother at Central Park. On the way there we passed the Strawberry Fields Memorial, which is a memorial to John Lennon, who was shot in 1981 outside of the Dakota Building.
Please understand.
Then we continued to walk up. We met them about 5-6 minutes later and then went home. Then we decided that we'd had enough because it was like 5 o'clock and we were all very tired. We just like slowly walked through Central Park, which is very beautiful, by the way.
I think it might be better if your body is facing that way. I think
this needs some help.
Like a side.
Then we got the subway to the Port Authority bus terminal and then connected onto a bus back into North Bergen in New Jersey. Wild like and a tiger subscribe. Yeah. Why are you still filming?